Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am Ant Pruitt. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit podcast. Sitting here with the one and only, the awaited that everybody has been talking about and hitting me up about, and just can't wait to have her back because I've been doing all of these solo shows for the last couple of weeks. Her name is what? Phoebe Pruitt. Oh my gosh. What the heck, man? You good over there?
Yes.
Can you breathe?
That's what it is. It's like, you know, that's the sound of applause, right? You go, does that sound like applause in the ears? No?
What the hell?
I don't know about that, but sure.
Whatever.
Oh, good.
I need
good.
elastics.
It's good to see you here. Folks, thanks for being here today. If you're watching live in YouTube, go ahead and do me a favor and hit the good old like button right now on the screen and the subscribe button so YouTube will show us some love and do all of that algorithm magic. Please and thank you. Also, go ahead and subscribe in whatever podcast app you're using at this time if you haven't subscribed already. We like to sit down each and every week-ish to just talk about random stuff in our everyday lives. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's quirky, sometimes it's flat out right out of left field because that's just how she is.
No, it's because it's just everyday people, everyday shit. That's why.
So
It could be anything.
sorry for drinking into the mic, but I am really thirsty. A couple updates. She's back on the mics now. She's been on hiatus, if you will, because of the whole Much Ado About Nothing play, and we can get into that momentarily. There's some other stuff that I want to get into, if you don't mind. First, just to start out.
Why would I mind? This your show.
It ain't my show. Why do you keep doing that shit, man?
It is Ant Pruitt, antpruitt.com.
Well, that's the domain. All right, I'm not going there with this week.
I'm just saying that's what it is. It is antpruitt.com. This is your show, even the YouTube, all of them, all of it. And that's fine because you did start it. And this is a part of yours.
Okay.
Trust me, take it.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get into the Much Ado About Nothing stuff, because I do have thoughts on that.
Oh, my.
I want to bring up some other quick little topics here. If I can figure out how to switch my screen, I will pull them up. So let me do this here. Boom. Because I don't know if you heard about this news. So let me do a little screen share. And that is right there. All right. And this is as of April 15th, 2024 from News and Community. I don't even know what website this is, so it may not even be credible, but I think it is.
I was going to say, well, if you don't know all of that, then is it legit?
Well, hold on. Maybe it is creditable. Oh, it is credible. It is straight from the dadgum source. Anyway.
I see California on the map.
As of April 15th, 2024, and yes, California is on the map, Bojangles brings chicken and biscuit craze to Los Angeles County with multi-unit franchise agreement.
But where, though?
Well, it said
They're going to go
County.
to L.A.? That's not nowhere. Okay, it's time to move. I already got a job there lined up. Let me just go ahead. I can go there and make minimum wage.
It said L.A. County, so that's a start.
I wonder if it's going to be watered down like Popeyes.
You think Popeyes is watered down? Why do you think Popeyes is watered down?
Because it does not taste like the same Popeyes as at home. It's not made the same. It's the seasons are not the same.
The seasoning is pretty close.
I understand that it's
difference.
supposed to be the same kind of stuff, you know, from the menu or the recipes are supposed to be the same all the way around. But I don't believe that's true because the people in this area, when they start having seasonings and flavor, then it's too salty. Like they don't want to taste it. So you can't. I don't know that it would be. I just have a feeling that it would taste different. I feel like even low key, it could be in my head, but my youngest could, you know that Popeyes tastes differently over here.
Okay, look here. Popeyes does taste differently. And
Chick-fil-A.
It tastes differently, just slightly or what have you, but does that stop you from going
to the Popeyes? Yeah, I don't go anymore.
Okay, so if next time I get Popeyes, I'm not even gonna worry about getting anything for you. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. What you're saying. The last time you got it, you didn't think about getting any for me.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
That is a daggum lie.
On our way home from Oregon, we stopped, right?
Yeah.
Why the hell do I want some Popeyes when it's not going to do nothing make my stomach hurt?
Oh, that's true. You and your whole sensitivity crap.
So what?
Some people and their whole diet sensitivities.
You trying to come for me.
I wasn't coming for you.
Yeah, you was trying.
No.
And I'm telling you, I don't eat that.
Look, dude, I get some of the stuff that's going to be different.
I don't even like Chick-fil-A because I feel like it tastes different. I just get the waffle fries because those don't taste different.
Yeah.
But I feel like the chicken recipe is different here. I really do. And I feel like Bojangles is going to be the same way because everything about the Bojangles menu. Now, the rice, I'm curious to how the dirty rice and the pinto beans will be prepared.
I got a hunch it's going to do just fine over here, even though it is, quote unquote, not like the real thing as you and I would possibly say or potentially say. But I think they'll still be fine. I still go to Popeyes.
Bring everything out. Bring some. Well, no, they can't bring the Atlantic Ocean out here. I
still go to Popeyes because it's good enough.
Yeah,
you know, it is good enough.
Fine.
And I think Bojangles was not my favorite between the two.
And it ain't we got a whole lot or more options where we can go get a bucket.
Or there's that too. I mean, what's the next best thing? KFC.
Like I said, we don't have any other options, so that's all we have.
No, but yeah, I wanted to bring that up because when I saw the news, you were the first person I thought about. I like Bojangles, but I prefer Popeye's chicken. I prefer Bojangles biscuits in breakfast. You know, so
I love Popeyes everything.
They have a place in my heart.
Bojangles everything, and Bojangles has a place in my heart.
Yeah, both of them do. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, this is
Popeyes don't
news.
really have a place in my heart. Now, Church's has a place in my heart.
Man, Church's chicken. Oh.
Church's chicken has a place in my heart because of the relationship that I had with my dad and when we used to go there. That's the only time I really got to go to Church's chicken is when I was with my daddy.
Because moms wouldn't have it.
Yeah, not no chicken. But yeah, we had a lot of experiences at the Church's chicken.
Man. And Church's is always in the hood. I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere else, but it's always
well, it depends on where we are. You know, we got to find out where they're going to be out here. If they come out here.
If Church's is coming, that
would be really nice. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I jumped to getting excited thinking about Church's coming out here. They're coming out here. Not Church's Bojangles. Not Church's Bojangles.
Googly. I swear, man, you and this ADD. It ain't no joke, y'all. Killing me.
It's just living our brains. I'm not gonna call it ADD anymore. I just call it that I have so many things going on in my mind.
You're doing that now. I'm not gonna identify it as ADD anymore.
It's just so many things going on in my mind at one time, and I just have trouble focusing on one thing at a time because there's so many fun things going on up there.
I think a clinician would call that ADD.
I don't know.
Oh man. All right. So let me I'm gonna touch on one more thing here before we take our break. So
I need to get elastics I know that's so horrible, but I do need elastics for my teeth.
Okay, we'll do that during the break.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Thanks for announcing that to everybody.
Hey, I'm trying to do right by these braces this time around.
So, all right. I wanted to touch on something for the creators in the space or what have you, because you know about this story now. You know a fair amount about this story, but The folks that are signed up to my newsletter knew that I had a shoot scheduled this week, repeat customer, if you will. And with that shoot, I've always had processes and procedures in place because I honor not only my privacy, but other folks' privacy when it comes to me pulling out a dadgum camera somewhere. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the client wanted me to shoot some footage of their work in action while interacting with one of their customers' property and so forth. Totally fine. Happens all the time. But I told them or asked them initially before each and every shot that we've done is, hey, let them know that your cameraman, quote unquote, is going to be there too. And that everything's going to be fine. And we're going to honor the privacy, blah, 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 blah. And for you creators, I highly recommend that you make it a practice of, like, even if it means putting that in your contract somewhere when you do your quotes, put that in the contract too, so it's written, so everybody's on the same page. Well, shoot went well on Monday. Tuesday, went to do the shoot, and the shoot was not quite as well. Mm-hmm. I'll just say that. And what happened was the one of the client's customers that was on the property, for whatever the reason, decided, I don't want anybody else in my house. Just like that. Not sure why. So I just grabbed my camera and lights, because I had a couple lights in there too. Grabbed my shit and I just walked out and sat outside, and my clients, they continued to do their job. Mm-hmm. You know, so say what you want. I don't know why they didn't want me up in there, but I just left it alone. So a few more minutes pass and what have you, and my clients come outside to meet me to further discuss potential shots that they're going to need. And I'm like, well, I can't go in that person's house anymore. So let's punt. Let's figure something out. And we started to figure something out. And that person comes up and basically just wants to interrogate. And he's like, so
but you're not sure why.
Not even sure why. And he starts going in about, so he asked me who I was, and I said, I'm their camera guy. And he's like, so you work for them? And I'm like, no, I'm a contractor. And he's like, so they contract you? And I'm like, yeah. And I just looked at him because I could see what was happening there. He's basically looking at me like, I don't know who you are, and I got a feeling you ain't who you think you are. You just some dude here. And so I just looked at him as he asked the question. And when I answered him, I just stared at him in his eyes, because I think.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You're holding over. We're having a conversation. Why would you look away? Why would you look away?
I think in situations like that,
you have
where someone is trying to bully, intimidate and bully, the second you look away, you lose that battle. Mm-hmm. So I really didn't give two shits about who he was. But the main thing that was going on in the back of my head was, I don't want to screw stuff up for my client. I don't want them to lose business or anything like that. Okay, so at the very least, I'm just going to make eye contact and stare this dude down and dare him to say something out of the way, which he did not. Mm-hmm. But because I stared him down, he backed off, that kind of thing. And before I left, I just grabbed one of my cards and I said, since you really want to know who I am, here's one of my cards, and you can look me up more if you feel like it. Mm-hmm. And I left. Well, that apparently escalated after I left. It's
because you tried to tell him who you were.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. But I thought about it and I was like, this is such a shit show. But at the end of the day, I did my due diligence weeks ago, and I did my due diligence as far as procedures and protocols. Everybody knew what was happening that day. And
I'm sorry, but I mean, what do you want it to be? What do you want it to, you don't know why. You don't know why. You don't think that this man would have had any issue with you, whether you look like you do or not?
Who knows? But I'm pretty sure. I just left it at that.
Now, if this had happened on the East Coast in the South, would you say the same thing? I don't know.
No, I was being facetious.
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't know. I can't tell because your acting skills have not made it to that level yet.
My poker face is just top notch. But no, I'm pretty sure it had something to do with me being a black dude up in there.
Thank you.
And then also, I felt bad when I left, and I messaged the crew that was there, that I was filming, and I said, "Hey, if old dude gives y'all more shit, you need to contact your boss." Because the crew, they're younger guys, and they speak Spanish. I don't know if they're Mexican, Guatemala. I don't know. I just know they speak Spanish. I know they're not Caucasian dudes. So I just assumed some shit could have gotten worse.
Cover yourself too.
And it did get worse for whatever reason. I don't have all the details, but to our credit, said client is still cool. Said client is still going to work with me because they trust me and my shit. And also the fact that I took it upon myself before all of this stuff even went down. Hey, whenever we show up on property, it needs to be announced that not just the technicians or your crew is going to be there, but I'm going to be there too, because people are weirded out about cameras. And even when I'm filming stuff or even taking photographs of stuff, I take into effect the privacy of that property. Even everything that's put up there, you'd have no idea where that property is because of how I frame it. It could be anywhere. So that's something that I hope creators would take to heart and take it into their next potential gig. Just protect yourself, folks, because people are going to do all kinds of weird shit and say all kinds of weird shit and also have all kinds of weird prejudgments. Know what I mean? You roll your eyes. You don't think they have any weird prejudgments?
It ain't weird. Weird is not the right word.
Yeah, I know. It's shit-tastic.
Okay.
Shit-tastic prejudgments. All right. So that's out of the way. I just want to do that bit of a PSA. We're going to pause for a minute for a quick ad break, if you will. We'll do one more ad break after that. We're going to pause for one now to allow somebody to go and get their, what did you call them? Elastics, also known as tinier ass rubber bands. Is that what it was? As she just walks out of here. So we will be right back after this. And we are back. This is Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit, the one and only totally random podcast about everyday life as someone just yawns into the mic because they're just so thrilled to be here. Boy, I tell you.
I'm so thrilled to be here. I'm freaking tired. I've been coming down off of this week high or 6-week high, 7-week high. Even today, I fell asleep talking to my loctician. Talking.
Wait a minute. You went all narcoleptic on me just mid-sentence?
I fell asleep while I was talking and head went back. Everything. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Wow,
I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's okay. It was... Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm just coming down because I've been wired, I feel like, a little bit. Why are you looking like that?
Like what?
You looking side-eye. You giving me the side-eye.
Are you paranoid or something now?
I'm looking at you. Are you...
I didn't do anything, dude. What? Okay, how about you do me a favor, though? Since you're scrubbing on the mic, move that cable there. Your headphone cable, somehow you're scrubbing on the mic. I'm not sure why that's doing that today. That never happens. Okay.
That's what you were looking at then.
I was not looking at that. Jeez.
You were looking at something.
Okay. Anyway, so everybody wants to know what happened on that. I have some thoughts, but I figure we should allow you to go first on your thoughts on the experience and, going through opening night and going through subsequent shows and then doing the final show and any life lessons or things that pissed you off or things that excited you or, just people want to know. Tell us about your experience with Shakespeare, because we've heard about the build up. We've heard about the effort that you put into it as far as practicing and getting everything under your belt and all of those frustrations. And I got to tell you, everything that I said, I don't know if you remember a couple weeks back, but I went
out and like broke down and had a shit fit cow.
I told you exactly what was going to happen. I gave you a timeline of what was going to happen, and hot damn, it was to the T.
You talk about you did this same thing with SpongeBob. I do not remember.
Oh man,
like breaking down like that. During SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, you did.
Like I don't know why I signed up to do this. No, because this was a voluntarily thing. Yeah. This was.
Yeah, I know.
What I was like was, why the hell did I volunteer to do something this difficult? It's not even in English. Why did I do this? Why did I have to volunteer to do something that I had to go through and do research on what the hell I was saying to start with before I could even say it? I had to go literally buy a whole system, a whole app by the month so it could tell me what the hell I was saying in every sentence, break it down for me, because it's in a foreign language. It was not English. It's cold. That's cold. No, that's gonna have to close we'll close
it in a minute. I'm gonna let it blow through here I'm gonna let it blow through briefly because it's got a little it got a little hot in here, but I'll let it blow through for a second.
I mean, the queen is not comfortable.
I'll fix it in a minute.
And I've been watching a lot of stuff about queens and empresses and stuff, and I think the way I feel is valid. And right now I'm cold. Just say it. I'll drink some more of this. I'll warm up.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, I remember I was trying to find it in pre-show, the episodes back, I guess 6 weeks ago, where I mentioned what was going to happen as far as you're going to be super excited about the process and getting started. And then it's going to hit you like, I don't know what the hell these people are talking about in this language and what does this even mean? And you'll start to be confused. And then you'll start to have this little bit of an imposter syndrome. And you're like, man, these kids are getting it. And I don't know why the hell I'm in here. And this is getting me. And then in that moment, you'll be like, well, I'm just going to push through because I got to pay the dues. And you're going to push through. And then it's going to be a day where all hell's going to break loose and the sky's falling and you're going to be yelling and you're going to be fussing. And it was
falling.
Oh, it did fall.
Yes, it fell. Eyes swole up and everything.
And then you were gonna just sort of crawl out of that, not climb. You were gonna crawl out of the skies falling because you're still wounded and hurt. And am I right? Because somebody is gonna try to encourage you, and you're gonna want to hear it.
That you just now coming up with this after the fact because this is what happened. This was I've never. Okay, so far this is the hardest thing I've done. Because even during SpongeBob, that was
you said the same shit. Did you not?
That's why. That's why I just said it again. Yeah. Like, so far, this is the hardest thing because it is learning another language, like translating it, knowing how to say it in the right beat, in the right rhythm. I was like, at least other plays are in English. At least SpongeBob was in English.
Yeah.
I had a whole breakdown in class.
Oh yeah.
I shut down the play because I forgot my lines and just was like, I got mad at myself. And I looking back, I was so mad at myself even more. I was like, I'm supposed to be off book, and I wasn't off book. And it got to me, and I was like, I don't know. And everybody's just looking at me, waiting, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know. And then it just got really irritated because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can ad-lib with Shakespeare. So it's like you say the right things or you don't say anything. And I was just so frustrated. And that's when I was scared I was going to let those kids down and let you down, let myself down. Like everybody, it was so much. And I'm like, how in the world? Yes, I was looking for a savior to make me feel better. You were not that one this time. I'll just go ahead and tell you were not. You felt like this with SpongeBob, you'll be all right. Yeah. Basically. And you kept it pushing.
Yep, sure did. Status quo. that's like she's on page 8 of the playbook right now. So
either that or he knows that
she's
I'm
right
an
on
actor,
schedule, folks.
And he's like, you're an actor. You'll be all right. Go do this shit.
She's right on schedule.
But there's a Tajay. I can say his name. He would actually be excited that I mentioned his name. He helped me a lot throughout this whole thing. Yes, the directors helped me a lot through the play. Everybody's students. Remember, everybody is a student. From makeup, hair, costumes. Our costumes that were made by students. Mine by one of the directors that's in costuming, this very, very talented kids. And I didn't want to let them down because they really believed in me, like from the beginning. Right. When I tried to hand them the paper back, like, no, I'm here to read for the maid. And they're like, no, you know, I didn't want to let them down. That night, I just wanted them to know that I was going to get it and I could get it. I had a breakdown. And, even with my breakdown in the past, I've even grown with my breakdowns.
Okay,
in the past,
explain that.
In the past, when I've had a night of hysterical crying, when my eyes swell up, like one of my old friends used to say, your eyes look like vaginas when you cry because all the swelling and folds.
Thank you for that graphic description.
I mean, that's what I got. It helps me get through. Like, if you keep crying, you know what your eyes gonna look like when you wake up. I mean, just be prepared.
Yeah. And
they did. And I was like, I'm not going to class. Forget about it. I'm not going to class. I'm not going to rehearsal. I'm calling out. I'm calling out of everything because I look ugly and it wasn't nothing I could do. I couldn't not cry. And the next morning, I couldn't stay home. Mm.
Something told you to just
it was like,
go.
no, you in one class, you're in a role, you're playing the leading player in the Pippin musical, just that song. You can't miss that. You need to be there for that. You're supposed to be there. And you've had instructors that have big issues and they make it to class every day.
So you're saying your accountability bone just sort of stepped up?
Yeah, it did. So I remember putting in the chat, wear the sunglasses. I knew it was some sunglasses here that would block my eyes. And I would wear them throughout the whole day. And I did. It was weird because I had to put my glasses on top. Of the sunglasses. And it was the sunglasses that blocked my eyes out were round and then these on top. It was not attractive, but I was there.
Yeah.
I showed up for everything and I was like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
Okay. So
and I did, and I started asking for my some of the professors that are over there that are adults. I asked them for their feedback on watching the play because they were there to as our supporters. Like basically, they're to lock up and open the place, the stage and stuff up for us, but they didn't.
They ain't running stuff like you are. You guys are.
So I asked them to check things out and give me their feedback, and I took a lot of feedback because I wanted to. I asked for it because I wanted it, and I wanted it from my friends that came to see it in the audience, and they gave it to me. And it started off one way opening night, and then it just progressively got better. I got better. I got more comfortable with it, and I'm very proud of myself. I came a long way.
Good.
That was a lot to learn.
Okay, so with all of that said,
in a short amount of time. I only had 6 weeks to learn Shakespeare.
Okay, sure. You want to pull out the... Okay, so with that said, take me through approaching opening night and the day of opening night. What was going on with that, with you, be it mentally, emotionally, or was it just sort of status quo? Did you what was going on with you opening night? I don't care about the rest of the cast. I'm talking about with you.
It's crazy, Anthony, but I wasn't nervous. I haven't been nervous before a show like that yet. Not like people say they get really jittery or whatever. Yeah. I could only think about the shit that I didn't know, that I was not comfortable with. Uh-huh. And that was on my mind a lot. So I kept my script backstage just for them, just for those areas. But
so all right, so you didn't have any nerves, and this is opening night. You leave the house, going to the theater, getting in costume and makeup and hair and so forth. No nerves at all. It was just sort of status quo. That's what you're telling me. It just
felt like we were doing it like we had been. Okay. Like we come there, we go to rehearsal, we get in dress rehearsal, we put on everything, and because we haven't had an audience, but we've had people looking in on us. So
all right. Well, with that said, when it was time and those lights went out in the house lights go out and the stage lights come up, and it's time to start that shit, and those two knucklehead kids go out there and do their little dialogue, and then the show starts. It was just, for you felt...
We were backstage just cheering each other on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. Everybody was whispering behind the curtain, doing stuff like left stage. We were doing that kind of stuff. It wasn't even a chance for me to even think about myself.
Good. That's cool.
We were just cheering each other on.
That's pretty cool.
And it was like that pretty much every night. Yeah, we did. It wasn't a whole lot of going into self. Not for me, maybe some others, but I don't even think a lot of others. Because we already had opportunities to sort of do that. I had those moments earlier in the day when, I don't know, I'm just like, I want to remember these lines. It was all it was. That's all I was thinking about. You was
just thinking business is what it sounded like.
That's it. Yeah. I know maybe it's not that I'm not nervous.
No, I get it. No, I gotta tell you, it's a little surprising, and that's not I'm not trying to disparage you or anything, but
why did I look nervous?
No,
did I act nervous? Did I sound nervous?
No, but what I'm saying is it's fairly normal for people to have like some nerves and anxiety before doing something what you did, especially for the first freaking time, So I'm surprised that you didn't have any nerves. It's very interesting and impressive, if you ask me.
Yeah, it wasn't like I was having like the sweaty hands or anything. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, no, I didn't have that.
That's pretty cool.
Because me and the young lady that played my daughter, we have to hold each other's hands before we walk out.
And there's going to be a dead giveaway there if you're nervous.
And I made sure that my hands did not feel nasty. Yeah. And they didn't. I didn't want that. But yeah, it was just more like, yeah, it's time to do this. These lights are about to come up and you're on it. And you already know that you have a huge role in this place. So go ahead and do it.
That's pretty cool.
The only thing I was nervous about was what I didn't know. And that was in the end of, almost the end of the play.
The last bit of lines. All right. So now the show has happened, has kicked off. You know, the lights have turned onto the stage and you're going out there and doing your lines. What are your thoughts on your performance? Excuse me, on your performance. You know, as everything is going on, did you feel stumbles? Did you feel comfort? And was that just the first night? And then did it get better as the weekend and the week went on with the additional shows? Did you sort of progress? Do you feel like you sort of just plateaued on your performance wise, or do you feel like you got better and better and better up until the final show? Like, was your final show the ultimate? It's like, okay, yeah, I did it. Do you feel like that?
I do. I feel like I got better and better. I didn't start off as where I ended up. Definitely. I took a lot of the notes from people that I had asked for their notes from, like, you know, trembling with the crying and incorporating that in with those that can add more depth to it, and using my regular accent of words, not say daughter. I said daughter. You don't say daughter.
Oh, you were trying to extra enunciate.
Daughter. Take of me my daughter. and with her my fortunes. It's just in some parts it was like that.
But
and
then
I didn't
that the person that helped you with something like that right there, that's some respect that I have for the people that are in the craft. It's about like musicians, you know, where musicians can pick up on, you know, if something, a chromatic scale isn't quite right, a musician's going to hear it, you know, or even a drummer. If a drummer's got just all of this going on and they hear that one cymbal, that one hi-hat ain't right, they'll catch that most people can't. And I appreciate that. And for the person that was helping you, they picked up on how you just said freaking daughter.
Yeah. Like everything else is so real. Everything else is you. Everything is real except for those little things like daughter.
Yeah.
And you can soften up yourself. This is your house. These people are coming to your house after the wars.
Yeah.
This your spot. You got the money. You're higher rate.
Right.
You know.
So act like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting all these little things, learning that I wigged out because I had a lot of lines, but Leonardo has a lot of lines. He has the second most lines in the play, next to Benedict, who is
character,
a huge character. So when I got that, you have 13% of the lines in the play, and Benedict has 17. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's what Tajay told me. He gave me that information. He's like, so I don't know if this helps you any, but you've done a lot. Don't look at what you've accomplished and what you haven't. Like, you got this, what you haven't yet, and look at this, what you have. Yeah. And you haven't even had the class. And it just, sometimes it's like, you damn right, there's a lot of lines. So I'm glad you realized, yes, it's a lot. And I had to learn the English way first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before I could even start to memorize it, because you have to be able to say it right.
Yep.
So that people know what you're saying, because if you don't.
It was legit learning a different language, just like we said previously.
Yeah.
So, all right. I have thoughts on it. But before we do that, we're going to take one more break. One more break. That is called a tease in the business,
really?
Folks. That's called a tease in the business.
Really? Is that what it's called?
Before we go to the break, I do want to take a minute to thank our new Patreon subscribers, Patreon members, and the rest of our Patreon family here in the Patreon community. On the screen, if you're watching the video, you'll see all of these names. We now have 10 members that are paying members. We have a couple other members that don't pay anything per month, but we have 10 members in there now paying per month to help support the show. I want to thank each and every one of you: Mr. Mike Claypool, Sean Powers, Michelle Thomas, Jeff Maricini, Dr. Drew, Joe Esposito, Alvin Brock, Finn, Tanya Wyman, and the name that I struggle with every daggum time, Matt Buonicanti. I am so sorry for butchering your name.
Thank you. That is so awesome.
So sorry for butchering your name. All right. So with that said, we're going to pause for a quick break and we shall be right back. And we are back. Everyday people doing everyday shit. The interesting, sometimes quirky podcast of just myself and Queen Pruitt just talking about everyday life and so on and so forth. Super chat just came in. Thank you for the super chat. And I bet that is from the one and only Mr. Joe Esposito. Let me check here, pull that up on the screen. And survey says, well, I thought it would say, there it is. Yeah, it is. I was on Nightmare. Joe Esposito with the $20 super chat. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
He says, good evening, Pruitts. Can't stick around to watch tonight, but wanted to say congratulations on Much Ado, Queen Pruitt. Mr. Pruitt, really enjoying your ZDNet writing. Hope all is well with you both. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
That's what's up, dude. Thank you. Yeah, the ZDNet writing has been quite an interesting experience because I've been busier with some things more so than I thought I would be, even though I ain't got no damn job. Go figure that shit out.
It's coming.
You know? Even though I don't have a bunch of gigs like I want, that is so bizarre. All right. I want to share my thoughts on this whole Much Ado About Nothing. Okay, so I said I was going to make sure I'm there for opening night. Go ahead and kill this for a second. And I was there for opening night. Did I go to subsequent shows? Survey says
No.
No, I did not. Did you have a problem with that?
Yes.
Oh. Oh gosh!
What did you think I was gonna say something different?
No, I no.
Oh, okay.
I no. But no, let me tell you. All right, so here's the thing with that. Again, it's not a musical, thank goodness, but it was Shakespeare, and I got to tell you, I didn't quite get it when I was watching the first act. It's like, what the hell are these people talking about? I'm like, what is the storyline here? And again, talking in the language, was it Scantians? How you say it?
Yeah, but
Talking
that's not really.
Hold on. Let me finish. So it's speaking in this whatever language and nothing was really making sense to me. And I didn't feel bad about it because, everybody don't get Shakespeare. That's cool. But what did sort of trip me out was the fact that every now and then there were these apparent punchlines and people were laughing. And I'm like, what the hell are they laughing at? Because
it's funny in the first part. What was funny?
And I'm like, I didn't hear anything that was funny. All I heard was some inflections and things like that. And it was interesting. I'll say that. Now, at the same time, I had been in orientation with the new part-time gig. For those that don't know, if you've been following my newsletter that I've been writing every week, antpruitt.com/blog, and you see the newsletter sign up there. I've mentioned that I've started a part-time janitor job, but that part-time janitor job gave me a week long of orientation that I didn't care for. And one of those days was on opening night. So I had been sitting in a chair, a very uncomfortable chair.
And it showed. I'm sitting there backstage looking at the camera, looking at the screen that we have of the audience, and I can see his shiny head, and he's just moving his head side to side like he's just so miserable, rubbing his head, scratching his head, rubbing his neck, scratching his head. Like, I mean, it was a whole thing. I was like, dang, I wish he hadn't come because he is miserable. And that's why I sent you that message. Like, I'm glad. Thank you for coming because I can see that this was a lot for you to be here.
Yeah, it was an effort to try to like get Shakespeare, but I didn't have a problem with the rest of the stuff, you know. And yes, I guess I did look uncomfortable because I was physically uncomfortable. My knees, my back,
everything.
I was sore from just being in that chair all day long.
Yeah.
And then coming and sitting in a theater chair. That's not the most comfortable type of chair either. It's wooden on concrete.
Oh, I know.
You know, so I
didn't expect you to be there.
I was battling.
To be honest, I did not expect you to be there.
So I'm sorry that. No, I'm not sorry that I was squirming. I mean, the shit happens. It's just, yeah. So I squirmed. All right. So now let's get into the show starts. The show starts with those knuckleheads, and I didn't care anything for that. And I got to tell you, you came out on stage, and I believe I have a picture here. Let me see. No, that's wrong screen. Damn it, Ant. We'll go back to here. There. You came out on the stage, and you had this gray hair going. And to the credit of the student production, okay, to the credit of the student production, the lighting on that stage for almost 99%, pretty much the whole show, there's only one time where the lighting caught me off guard and made me look around what was going on. But again, I see that kind of stuff.
Oh, he will be happy to know that.
But the lighting, when you walked out and you came in and you had on this blue get up that I'm showing on the screen.
Get up.
And
you're so old. Oh my God.
This blue costume that I'm showing on the screen, and your hair was grayed. They spray painted your hair this gray color. And you were talking, but I hadn't heard you talking yet. If that makes any sense.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You know, you were talking, but I hadn't heard you talking yet. I just noticed, like, wow, okay, so that's what she would look like when she got gray hair. You know? That's what she's gonna look like when she has gray hair. And,
not what I'm saying.
And it looks good. I mean, it was really well done. From what I could tell.
Well, I did my hair, so.
From what I could tell, the makeup and the hair.
And I did my makeup.
All of that. Okay, you did. Wow, it all looked good.
I did everything myself.
Well, that's good.
They just told us what they wanted and what we couldn't do. We couldn't do eyeshadow. We couldn't do, certain things, but I did everything to myself except spray my hair. But I had styled my hair before I left. My natural hair for that first night.
Yeah.
And the second night. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Like I said, because they have to light the stage a certain way because your faces will look really bad if the lighting isn't right. I don't care what makeup you got on.
He did great. Jace did good.
So it looked good.
And he was also the stage manager too.
And then I finally heard you talking, and watching you go through those lines, it was pretty much what I expected because I knew how hard you were working to try to practice and get through that language. And granted, a ton of it didn't make any sense to me because every now and then you throw in some little quips and puns here and there, and people would chuckle in the crowd, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell they laughing at, but sure.
It maybe if you had paid attention from the beginning instead of looking at my beauty, you would have understood.
Okay.
What was going on? I don't know.
Okay, fair.
But do you know the story yet?
I think I have an idea of what happened with the story. It seemed like a little bit of, all right, so this cat is supposed to marry your daughter, but then his entourage likes this other chick, and then it turns into some weird, well, your daughter was hanging out with old boy, and he ain't supposed to been hanging out with old boy, but then entourage was trying to get with old girl, and old girl was like, I ain't trying to get with him, and she's sort of playing hard to get, and that kind of thing. Okay, all right, so I did have the gist of it.
Yeah, from what they told me in the beginning is the story was supposed to be about Beatrice and Benedict. Claudio, Hero, Leonardo, all of that was not even a part of Shakespeare thing.
That's another thing. Hero. You kept saying Hero. Others kept saying Hero. And I'm looking around. Where's the hero? It took me a minute to get that Hero is the name of the daughter.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, I was just gone.
One of my directors, though, her dad he was the body for Bubba Fett.
Nice.
Yeah. Her celeb go deep.
Nice.
I was like, what? That's pretty awesome.
Nice. That's all right. So I'm getting through this and I'm enjoying it. I was like, she's doing a good job. She got her lines down. I think I heard maybe 2 flubs.
How do you even know if it's a flub if you don't know if it's my lines and you don't understand what's going on is what I want to know.
Because you stuttered.
Oh, stutter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I heard maybe 2 flubs, if that. But it wasn't distracting or anything like that. You just kept going with the flow like a daggone pro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it was great. And then it happened. There's this scene, and the folks that are familiar with this stuff knows.
I know what you wanted to say, just that this stuff. You can't hide that this stuff.
I know the people that are familiar with Shakespeare know the scene, but this is when Leonata, in this instance, Leonata, is very, very disappointed in her daughter, Hero. I don't remember the reason right out the gate, but she was very, it's okay. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now. No, it doesn't matter now. But I know that you were very disappointed in your daughter. And you talked about this scene prior to the show. You mentioned it to me as you was working on it. And I'm not taking any credit on any of this because it nothing I said mattered right here. But I remember our discussion
But I asked you.
Yes, you asked me. And I said, well, for me, I've always found that you can see a lot of emotion in someone's eyes, because, you can smile, but you can fake smile too, and you can be scared or angry and all of that stuff, and you can fake it, but you can really see, in my opinion, at least based on my experience looking through a lens, looking through a camera, if I see it in the eyes, that's when I'll feel it, so when someone smiles into the camera and their eyes change, I got them. That's when I click. You know what I'm saying? And so I tried to mention that to you as far as when you go to do this scene is think about how you're looking at her in that scene when you go to explain how you're disappointed, and you had mentioned it was going to be a crying scene and so forth. Excuse me. But I just sort of let it go, all right, she's got a crying scene. So fast forward to said crying scene as it happens. And I've been holding on to this just to let you know, because I haven't discussed this with nobody but our son.
Oh, so Jacob knows.
I haven't discussed this with nobody.
He saw it the night after you did.
He saw it the night after I did. So you had to do the scene where you're crying on the stage and just letting your disappointment out. And as it happened, I had a visceral reaction. Okay. So this is whenever you cry, you don't know this, but now I'm going on the record now. Everybody's gonna know this shit now. But where it's like, I feel it through my bones.
Oh,
deep.
Okay.
Okay. You this is new to you, but whenever you cry, and we've been together 2 decades now, but whenever It's just, God dang, let me get through it. Whenever you cry, I have two reactions. One is, all right, I'm really, really angry now because she's crying. Something has happened, either self-inflicted, something has happened that was not self-inflicted, but I'm pissed off that she's crying. And I'm also pissed off that I'm going to potentially have to try to fix something that's made this wrong happen, you know? So I take it very, very personal, and it just, I'm focused and I need to get this shit done. And, or it means I need to go kick proverbial ass or something. You know what I'm saying? And then the other part of it is you crying because someone hurt you. And when someone hurts you, it pisses me off. And it could be someone hurts you from, you know, they pass away or they just done something really wrong to you or whatever. And it's just hurt. And when you cry, I feel it. Mm-hmm. And then it makes me want to cry. Mm-hmm. And then it really, really hurts. And so I'll get to another instance of, all right, I can't have her hurting. I need to figure something out. I need to stop this, whatever it is, what I got to do to fix this, because she's hurting. And dude, so it's like a bit of a fight or flight, and not a fight or flight, but I look around and I'm like, all right, again, either I need to go fix this or I need to go kick somebody's in the ass, you know. But my emotions, it's a guttural, visceral feeling that I get when this happens. So you start crying on the stage after hearing what I just told you. Now, you start crying on the stage. I wonder if your cameras in there caught what was happening to me, because I literally went into, oh shit, she's hurting. She's hurting. She's hurt. Oh shit, she's hurt. What I need to do to fix this. Wow. I literally went right into it. And I had to talk myself out of it. She's acting. She's acting. Dude, she's acting. She's acting. It was this shit, y'all.
I'm just now hearing this. All he been saying is I have thoughts, but I'll talk to you about it later.
So that goes down. All right. That goes down. And
to do that 5 nights, 5 times, 5 nights, not 5 nights.
That happened. And I had to talk myself out of it within, 30 seconds or so to bring myself back to reality that, okay, she is acting and doing this performance. You got to let it go. Tears running down my face, palm sweating, fist balled up.
Get you ready to go
the whole 9 yards. Okay. But then I also noticed the rest of the theater. Soon as the tears came out, people started clutching their pearls. And I'm not saying that as a metaphor. It was a legit. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I don't see nothing. And I ask so many people, like the one time I wanted people to break the rules, like, can you get recordings? Can you record? Can you record? Can you record? Can you record? Nobody has recordings except for the directors. Yeah. They do have some of the night. I hope I do get to see some of it, but you should have, because it was some cameras out.
Yeah, I know they would.
Like this.
I knew they would be, but I said, no, I'm not going to do it this time. But
no, I didn't get to see any of the reactions except for one of my professors. It was just like blown away and brought her to tears, and it brought some people to tears. And I'm like, sometimes I really do think, people are being really nice.
No, I'm talking live. But I'm not talking post show. I'm talking live while this was happening. So I saw it all the way across the daggum room. Okay. And it was, I'm telling you, it was felt. And for the folks that were not there, and hopefully we will get access to a recording, because they were recording it, and I will share this with Patreon members. people felt that, and they literally were grabbing their chest as it happened. And it wasn't just the visuals of the tears rolling down your face. It was the sound. Your voice changed to the sound that I know of when she's hurt. And so that's what, again, because I could, not only could I see it, but I could hear it. And so again, that's why I reacted the way I reacted. And then I am 100% sure that's why the rest of the theater reacted the way they did, because they could hear it as well as see it and could feel your pain and disappointment throughout the rest of that show, because it went on for a little bit. It wasn't just 2 minutes. It went on for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
it was long.
It was hurting.
It was hurting.
And so talking, me and Jacob, we talked Saturday because he saw it Friday night. I saw it Thursday night. He saw it Friday night, and I saw him.
My niece was there too.
Yeah, she was there. And so I was talking to Jake here at the house Saturday. You know, I don't even know how it came up, but I believe he started it. He says, "Yeah, Mom was really good."
Oh wow!
And so I looked at him and I'm like, "Yeah, it was." I said, "Man, look, I tried to explain it to, because I put a clip in Patreon on opening night for the members, trying to explain it, and I even put it on X explaining it, and." I was like, I know this shit's going to sound hyperbolic, like I'm just totally exaggerating. There was no exaggeration. This shit was real. And at the end of it, I remember hugging you and said, you did this shit.
Yes, you did.
And this,
and I know that you're going to be real with me if you like, like womp womp. You would have walked out and been like, oh, well, womp womp, like that. And I know that you and Jacob would be absolutely honest about it.
On both sides of the coin.
I really think
That's
so.
the thing. Both sides of the coin.
On both sides. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And it was just like, Mom, you did that was really good. I didn't know what you were talking about half the time, but it was really good.
Yeah. And so I'm talking to him in the kitchen because he brought it up, and I was like, yeah, she was really good. And I said, when she started crying, and then I said, look, I haven't told anybody this, but I'm telling you now, and I'm going to tell her when we get on the mics. And I'm explaining to him what I just explained to you, and he was like, me too.
He was ready to go kick some ass too. That's awesome.
It's
protected. Yeah. But that's the thing. I guess that's why I was so sad that y'all didn't come back, because it got so much better. My skills got so much better. I was able to incorporate what I had been told, this would help your game, and it did. It got even better. Even with some of the different parts, I added some areas.
Yeah.
And I had 2 nights, and they were like, the stage management, everybody that's up high, I was like, oh my God, that was your best performance. All of them have been great, but tonight was just amazing. It was like, it touched everybody. And then the next night it was like, no, we thought that was the best, but no, tonight was better. And it just got better. So I walk away from this whole experience extremely proud of myself, because I know how far I came from what I was thinking and feeling and wanting to quit. Like, telling look here, this look here. I'm looking at, again, the theater, they had one reaction, okay, but I'm looking at the cats on the stage too, the rest of the cast. Yes, they did tell me that I helped them cry. Some of them cats was fighting. I can see it. They're like, hold it together. Some of them have to cry. Like, some of the girls, they were supposed to cry, so it helped them cry. Man, some of them cats like, I need to hold it together now. I wish I could see those kinds of things. Oh man, it was a great experience. I came a long way from the beginning of that. What I'm reading, I'm not saying it right, and I kept saying, "Oh, I noticed I sound country. I know I sound country, y'all. This does not sound right. I know it doesn't because all of them don't sound like me, or didn't sound like I was sounding." So I'm like, "Are you sure you don't want me to use a different dialect?" No, we like your dialect.
You absolutely crushed it.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me that, because I honestly did not know what was going to come out your mouth tonight. I did not know it was going to come out your mouth, and you was like, "I'll wait." And I got thoughts. Somebody say something to you like, "I got thoughts, but I'll tell you later."
I do, and I gave you my thoughts. I gave you my thoughts on the whole play and your performance, and you know, I believe that some of your castmates their feelings were hurt because I didn't give them a standing ovation. I applaud it, but I didn't give them a standing ovation, and tough shit. My standing ovation was for you, you know, and then I sat back down after the other folks came up. But I
didn't know you sat back down.
Yeah, but I applauded during the curtain call.
Oh, okay, good.
I applauded during the curtain call the whole time, but I only stood for your curtain call. That's the only time I stood up. And so again,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. If people got a problem with that tough shit, that's where my emotion stood and how my judgment went with that, you know. So
my number one supporter.
Get over it, people. But yeah. Big ups to you. That was
and you knew what I was saying at that point. You understood what I was saying, right?
I got to tell you right now, I don't even remember hold on, I'm dead serious. I don't even remember what you were saying. I was so taken in
by the tears,
by everything that was going on. And I know this sounds selfish. I was so taken in by everything that was going on inside of me, because it was literally just like, we're not at a play. Something serious has happened and you need to fix some shit.
So my acting was believable.
Right. So I went into a whole different mode of me that only comes out very, very rarely.
Yes. You know? Very rare.
Because it's not like you're a damn. Okay, yes, I have called you a crybaby before.
I have my moments.
Yeah, but it's not like you just it's not like you cry all the time for stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But me and my sister, I told her about it. I said, "Sissy, I brought these tears. I have to do this every night." Because, you know, some of my castmates have said, you help us cry when you cry. Yeah. But we didn't expect it to look down and see your face full of tears. And it's like, "Oh, she's crying. I'm going to cry." Yeah. You know, and
it's shit's real.
And my sister was like, "We've been watching you cry since you was 2 years old. We would tell you, Phoebe, cry." Yeah. And you would just cry.
But again, watching you cry, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. To audibly hear it. Nobody knows up until now what you sound like
when cry.
You've been hurt. Nobody knows.
Or when you're hurt,
Only the very intimate people in your life, your mother, your father, you know, your partner, what have you. They know what you audibly sound like when you are hurting, when you cry. Now, granted, now the people that bought tickets know what yours sound like. You know, so it's totally different. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. I had a hunch this is gonna go a little bit long. I'm not gonna apologize for that because I had shit to say. And,
do you have to work? You off? Right?
No, I'm off tomorrow, but I have the poker tournament that
I'm talking about tonight.
You don't? No.
Okay.
No, I just have the poker tournament tomorrow. The only thing I got to do tonight is edit some photos for the baseball game and edit this podcast. And the podcast will be pretty much a piece of cake for me now because I have built some templates and workflow to make shit easier for me because I'm a damn professional.
So you get to go to bed at normal. If the dogs, I know the dogs are an issue. Yeah. And they have been. I don't hear shit
Oh, yeah.
I have been going to sleep and I literally, it's crazy. I don't know anything. Even when you get up, I don't even know that you've gotten up until I wake up. Like, I get this sense like
Yeah,
I'm in the bed by myself.
What she's talking about is my janitor job that I'm doing part-time is now, the shift is 2 a.m. to 10 a.m.
They tried to give me them hours when I was a beverage server over there. Nope. Mm-mm.
And I chose it. They gave me the option of something else, but I chose the 2 to 10 because I think that'll work best for me with the stuff that I'd like to try to achieve. And so, yeah, getting up in them
and it's part-time
at night or what have you, that's what she's talking about. But unfortunately, even though I try to get a little nap in, freaking dogs have been sick for the last 2 weeks. One of them for the last 2 weeks has had something.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I know what's going on. They're eating crap that they're not supposed to eat, such as my mail in my trash bin or something like that, but whatever. I'll deal with that. Anyway, neither here nor there. We're going to get out of here. Thank y'all for being here and listening and all of the support. Thank y'all for continuing to tell folks about the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for dealing with me these last couple of weeks running solo shows that were a little bit shorter. I appreciate that because there was some feedback that came through and there were a handful of really thoughtful conversations that came through regarding some of those shows because
I listened to one.
I think on 2 of them I had a rant and I just had to get it off my chest.
I listened to one show.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you didn't listen to the other one because listen to the others because there's one subject that I wanted to discuss with you and you're not around. I said, I'm just going to save it for later. Trust me, it's totally random. It's nothing serious. Again, be sure to share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff on whatever your podcast app is, and you're on YouTube, the like button. The description will have all of our show notes and all of the social media stuff. The story about Bojangles, also known as Bojangles, and other stuff we got going on. Again, thank you to the Patreon members. Feel free to join Patreon and hang out in that community there where I have some random conversations. It's patreon.com/Ant Pruitt. If you want to buy me beer, it's antpruitt.com/beer. And yeah, that's about it. I don't know what else I need to plug. Oh, my ZDNet stuff. Go check out ZDNet on TikTok and check out ZDNet.com. I got some stuff out there. I appreciate them allowing me to create some content. I had a lot of fun with the DJI drone and all that good stuff. All right. I'm not sure what's going on in the house, but we're going to stop now because dogs or somebody's getting a lot of attention. And
I know. I want to know what happened. Did Kylo do something?
It's okay.
Or Biscuit? No, just now something just happened because Biscuit in here is scared. He's sitting over here under the little thing. I'm not going it. All right, folks. Y'all have a good day, good evening. Do something good for yourself. Do something nice with someone else. And we shall see y'all next time. Peace.
Deuces.